Hello and welcome back to the WSMX programming training. In this lab recording, we're talking about lab number 6, task number 2, or shortly task 6.2, review the data logged result with the SHMU analysis. Okay, so for that, let me jump into the smartest session here, and we start right where we left from the last task. So we executed um, the um, test flow SHMU, which we set up here. Here down in the results view, you can see that the main SHMU, suit SHMU, was executed. We don't have a single value to look at because, of course, we change the parameter SSE amplitude from 250 millivolts to 450 millivolts. And now we're gonna look at this SHMU results in more detail. So for that, we change into the analysis perspective. That's that icon over here. If you don't see that one, no problem. You can just click here on Open Perspective, click on it, and then the uppermost one here is the analysis, and this is what we need. Click OK, then you will automatically switch to the analysis perspective. And then to have a look at the most recent data which were collected in the last test program execution, you have here the default data log. You just double click on that one, and then you see here what was all executed, and you see also down here that we had here our SHMU. And if you click on that one, you either have here already the SHMU view, or if you don't have this window yet, then you can just right click here, go to show in SHMU analysis, and then this window here will pop up. Okay, so here I already changed the steps from 5 steps to 20 steps. This is one of the tasks which you have to do later in the lab manual. Anyway, what we first do is we can go and maximize this one, and some of the things you're supposed to do is to change the result type from pass fail to value. So okay, let's maybe take a second to have at this pass fail result type a look. So you see here that is the x-axis where we change the SSE amplitude from 250 millivolts to 450 millivolts. And you see that here in this area from 290 to 380 millivolts, the test suite passes. So that means that all the test descriptors we set up in the test method in the distortion underscore mod test suite pass. And in this range here from 250 millivolts to 280 and from 390 millivolts to 450 millivolts, the test suite fails. Okay, so we want to change now the result type to something else. For that, we have to click here on this button here first. Then this overlay window will pop up, and here we can change to value. And then we also should change to the S&D value. And if we click on now here, okay, then you see here is the S&D value. You still see that on the x-axis we plot the SSE amplitude. Okay, so under bullet point number 8, it says that you have to change the range dot steps to 20. I already did this and re-executed this, so then you should see this one here. And the point is that whatever you change the range steps, you will always see that we change the SSE amplitude from the 250 millivolts to the 450 millivolts. Exactly those values which we specified in the SHMU as a start and a stop. Okay, so next thing to do is under bullet point number 10 that we should go back to the setup perspective, go to the analog SHMU test flow, and then we should comment out here um, this line here where we set the SSE amplitude. And if you have a look at that one here, we have here actually this distortion underscore mod test suite executed twice. We have it once in the shmoo test flow, and then in the other one is in the distortion test flow. And you see here that um, for the one executed in the shmoo test flow, we commented this one out here. So we have the original value as stated in the test method. If we jump into it, of um, 0.35 or 350 millivolts. Whereas if we go to not the analog flow, but the distortion flow, then you see here that we still have this statement here. And this is, for example, why then if we compare it with that one here, that you see that the value for the signal power is about 0.2 dB instead of the 1 dB here in the shmoo one. So this is what the bullet point number 10 is about. And yeah, so next step is actually to not have a look at the test flow shmoo. So the test flow shmoo is what we set up here. Now we're gonna show you that you can actually always do a shmoo also in the debugging mode. And for that we jump into our analog shmoo here, and then we set a breakpoint here directly after the distortion underscore mod execute part. So that means that if we run it in debug mode, the shmoo here will not be executed. For that, let's try that out. We go here and jump into the debug mode. Yes, we want to switch. And then we're gonna go here and execute our shmoo test flow. And then you see that we already stopped here. Now we have to set the breakpoint here. Sorry, excuse me. So the breakpoint should be in line number 31. And now you see that the distortion underscore mod test suite was executed. And then here in the debug perspective, you also have the shmoo view here. If you don't see that one here, you can also go here into the test flow, right click on the distortion underscore mod, and then show in, and then oh, test suite shmoo is something else. Okay, so we have here the shmoo window. Or is it something else? No, it's exactly the same. Okay, good. So now we have two windows, but they are basically the same. So let's close that one here. And next point is that actually we switch off the axis number 2 here. That one is already done here. And then under axis number 1, we change the resource type to spec variable here. So you can have instrument property or spec variable. That's what we want. And then you change it to the SOC amplitude. So here at the moment we don't have any other option. And then we change the format from relative to range. We start with 250 millivolts, go to 450 millivolts. We have the step size of 10. And that's it. And if you now want to have a look at the shmoo, then you just click here on the Run Shmoo button, and then you see here the result. At this point, it's not possible basically to go here and to overlay mode and change here to the value. That is because we are now here in debugging mode, and we can not check any um, results which need some post-processing at the workstation. So that's not done during the debug mode, and this is why we only can have a look at the global pass-fail result. And that is in that case here only for the digitizer capture test. Okay, if you would have some other test, for example, a PMU test, which we don't do here with this WSMX card, that you could also have directly look at the PMU results, because those results don't need any post-processing on the workstation. Okay, so with that, we are at an end also for lab number 6. Thank you very much for listening. I hope all those lab recordings were helpful. And with that, you're done with the WSMX programming training. And I hope that you will also check out all or some of our other trainings. With that, bye bye.